In this video, I want to talk about the 5 systems that you need in your online service-based business to grow, scale, and remove yourself and really have the business not rely solely on you. Let's get it going. Welcome back, guys. Greg here with Alt Agency at altagency.com. We train and coach agencies and service providers on how to grow, systematize, and scale their business by productizing their services, expanding their revenue streams, and becoming more profitable. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. We release a new video every single week. I don't know about you, but the number of times I have conversations with people and they're like, oh, I need more systems. And I'm like, well, what does that mean to you? The variety of answers that I get to that question are far and wide, like all over the board, that I'm convinced that people are making things way more complicated than they have to be. And you really need just a handful of systems inside of your business that you're really tweaking and optimizing over time, not adding more and more and more and more and more systems. And for the most people that I know, peers, mentors, et cetera, that are even doing 10 million, have these exact same systems. There's more people involved in them with more traffic and more people going through these systems, more checks and balances, if you will. So that should actually be a relief because you can be using the same systems that a 7-figure business are doing, and in some cases, 8-figure businesses are utilizing. So if you're less than $1 million, definitely tune in because I'm going to break down the 5 core systems that you need. Now, the first one is lead gen. Now, what does lead gen mean in this example? So I think what this means is you need 2 systems or processes to do a couple things. First is to get eyeballs. So this could be your organic system, your paid traffic system. So I'm going to actually split those. So I'm going to go organic and then paid media. These are things that are going to put you out in front of people so that you can capture their information. And what we really want to focus on is obviously collecting email addresses, contact information. Now, we're going to be capturing things like I said, name, email, and phone. And common things that people are doing at this stage are things like a video sales letter or a webinar or maybe a PDF or a book, things like that, free training. What I've found to be true is that a lot of people, especially under 1 million, are trying to do all of these things. You really want to pick one. We used a video sales letter for 2.5 years to get us up to $1 million in revenue. Yes, we tweaked and optimized the actual video sales letter. We tweaked and optimized the copy inside of these paid ads right in here. And we kept working on our messaging as we went out to our organic traffic. This content on this channel got more specific. The messaging that we use in our email copy and our ad copy all got optimized because we just kept focusing on how do we improve this one system, which is our VSL, which fits in our lead generation systems bucket. The next one is lead nurture. So if lead gen is to, capture the leads, then lead nurture is to turn leads into prospects. And this is where you'll see people really focused on one email. You'll see Facebook groups are really popular right now, SMS, and even more your organic content. There's content that's speaking to warmer leads. If the lead gen is you're going out to a cold market, we're warming them up inside of our lead nurture. And early days, guys, we only focused on email and putting out new content every single week. And really, these were actually pretty well connected because we'd email people about the new content. It wasn't until we were actually over 7 figures that we really started focusing on groups. Now, if I were to start over, I'd focus on groups more now because of what's going on in the world with like the power of community. So I'm not saying you shouldn't use groups just because you're not at 1 million yet. I'm just saying we systematize one way of nurture first. And I probably wouldn't try to do all of these things all at once. I'd get really good at one of them. So lead nurture is turning the leads into calls and appointments. So we're taking those leads, we're getting them to book calls with our sales team, which would mean the next system is our sales process. This is where we start to turn prospects into clients. And really there's only a few ways here. This is selling via the phone, high ticket sales. If you're an agency, you're probably having Zoom demos and things like that right now, or you're probably selling from sales pages because you're selling things that are typically lower ticket, which I'll say is less than $3,000. So if you're selling courses or, things like that, low ticket memberships, low ticket products, you might not need a phone consultation process. But from a systems perspective, you want every single person that you capture from leads, you want to nurture them into the exact same sales process. So this sales process, no matter who's going through it, should be pretty much the same thing. It should be an engine. So you have that documented. You should be able to hand over to a new salesperson, hey, look, this is how our sales process works. Here's how we handle the pre-call. Here's how we handle on the call. Here's how we handle after the call. You should be able to hand that off to someone. And in a matter of hours, they should be knowledgeable about your process and be able to start hopping on the phones and applying what they've just learned. That's how systematic your sales process should be. In my last video, I talked about the big challenge that service providers face is that every client is different and wants something different. If every client wants something different, your sales call probably is going to be all over the place because you're trying to navigate the demands of a variety of people. But when you're focused on solving one problem for one type of person, you can actually choreograph and systematize your sales experience to be repeatable. And that's where it's going to be really easy for you to, over time, remove yourself from that process and put someone else in that seat. So that's the third system. The next system is the delivery system. This is where you do your work. There is probably a series of live calls. There might be videos. There might be email support. There might be, some done for you. There's things that make up your delivery process, but because you're solving one problem with one solution, the process that you take your clients through should be repeatable. You should be able to do the same thing over and over and over again and get your client the results. Now, that doesn't mean there's no room for tailoring your systems and solutions to each client, but the client should look relatively the same. It's not like every single client's going to have the exact same copy on their pages or the exact same videos, but the things you're doing for them, your process of giving them a website, your process of defining their brand identity, your process of building out their funnel or running their ad campaigns, no matter what client that is, your delivery process should be repeatable. And then the last one is retention. And this is where you get people to move up your ladder and or just become repeat buyers so that you're increasing the LTV of the clients you have. Now, this might be upsells, cross-sells, downsells, continuity, etc. But the process in which you actually do an upsell, do a cross-sell, do a downsell should be the same. You might capture testimonials, and then during that testimonial conversation, you might upsell them to solving the next problem that they have right now. That is a system that can be done over and over and over again so that every single client that comes through from delivery and is now finishing the work that you're doing, you have the ability to take them through your retention system to increase the lifetime value, continue working with them, so on and so forth. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in your business that you need to create systems for. If you choose lead gen, you might not do all of these. You might focus on a video sales letter. When you do the lead nurture, you're going to choose maybe 1. You're going to focus on your email follow-up first. You're going to sell via the phone. You're going to deliver through live weekly support calls. In the beginning, if you're under $1 million, you might not even need retention systems yet. But when you do, you're not going to launch upsells, cross-sells, downsells, and continuity all at once. You're going to pick one. Hey, I'm going to upsell them into a mastermind or a next service level that gives them more support, more training to solve the problem that they have after they've got the results from my first offer. So there's 5 areas, guys. In the future videos, I'll break down each one of these. But if you've been sitting there saying, I need to systematize my business, and you haven't been able to do that, or you have hundreds of systems, that likely comes from you offering too many different things, like I mentioned in the last video, which again, I'll link up in the comment section below. If you are looking to take your generalist services, your custom services, and turn that into one powerful productized offering and scale that in a one-to-many format, I put a free training in the description below, about 20 minutes. I'll walk you through the 4 steps that we went through to turn our custom bespoke services into something repeatable, productizable, that really set us up to build out these 5 systems where I'd be able to remove myself from each and every one of them so that they didn't fall solely on my shoulders and my time, and we were able to grow and scale, and how you can too. So I hope you liked this video. Check out the links below for the free trainings, and I'll see you in the next one.